Welcome to Minnesota. Negative 16.6 degrees, son. Hell yeah.
What's going on, guys? Nathan here, bringing you yet another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary, and that clip you saw at the beginning was recorded around a week ago when it was really fracking cold, and yeah, it's still pretty cold, but it's warmed up slightly to around 20 degrees, and in a little bit, I'm going to get to drive through freezing rain to work, so that's awesome. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, and before I actually get into this, I'd like to remind you guys about the poll of the day, something good to entertain you for roughly 30 seconds while the video buffers, perhaps. Sometimes I just like random entertainment while videos are loading. But anyway, yeah, just check out that, and what I wanted to talk about today was weapons that could possibly be overpowered in Team Fortress 2 if they were used correctly. Now this might at first sound a little bit ridiculous, being, well, if you use a weapon correctly, why should it be overpowered? You know, if you use a weapon correctly, you should be rewarded and get whatever kill you're going for because you're good at the game. Well, I would argue that there are weapons that can be possibly overpowered if used correctly. However, I don't think they're used that often, or rather, players just can't match the skill it requires to use them correctly. Or I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain, but once I put up some examples, you guys might kind of get on board with what I'm saying. Now, the first weapon I would like to suggest is the Sandman. I believe this has the potential to be very overpowered because the Sandman immobilizes an enemy for a certain amount of seconds, depending on how far away you are from them. But the fact that you can immobilize, let's say, like a heavy, by not even using that much skill. I mean, the Sandman does have a huge drop rate, but it also has a large hitbox, is what I've noticed. And you can usually hit somebody with the Sandman about 75% of the time if you're aiming for them, or at least for me anyway. Now, once again, I'm not suggesting that the Sandman is overpowered in any way, but I'm just kind of saying that if everyone developed at least a little bit of a skill at using, you know, all of these weapons, actually, then they could become very annoying. Another example would be the Short Circuit. The Short Circuit could be very good, and I'm not really sure why it isn't used that much, but the Short Circuit has huge potential. It can destroy sticky bombs and projectiles that are incoming. Do you know how powerful that could be? To basically protect your sentries against demomen and soldiers, if you have the right timing for soldiers anyway. But like that, I would say 75% of sentries are taken out by demomen using sticky bombs, and if you have the Short Circuit out and you're using it correctly, that can completely protect your sentry against sticky bombs, which is absolutely huge. So like that's another example of a weapon that could become very powerful if a lot more people just decided to use it and try it out. Another example, and I've already actually covered this in a past video, but the Sticky Jumper is a weapon that is hugely, or rather can be overpowered, because you're basically sacrificing all damage in your secondary weapon slot for a massive increase in mobility, which as a demoman that is huge, because that means you can get behind the enemy front lines, get to their spawn, destroy whatever teleporter they have, and harass people, and it could be just really annoying. And yeah, I've already covered that in a video though, so I'm not going to go into that anymore. Another couple of weapons that have this sort of potential is the Bonk and the Soda Popper. And really, with the Bonk, I think that the fact that you can become invulnerable and then basically rush a sentry to simulate sort of an Uber, really, as long as you have like two people behind you that are willing to go and destroy the sentry with you, you can just bonk that sentry and destroy it immediately. All it takes is a little bit of teamwork, and I do think that the Bonk has some potential to become overpowered as well if it is used correctly. And with the Soda Popper, this weapon is actually already considered overpowered by some people that I know, but if you actually use the Soda Popper in the correct way, maybe in that you actually like hide your weapon and then save the mini crits for whatever an enemy that you see, for example, you can actually run around with the pistol or your melee and not have the meter with the Soda Popper fill, so you can actually hide it and then take it out and get those mini crits whenever you want to. So that's another weapon that could have a lot of use, and I'll actually cover that in another video. Lastly, I would say the Rescue Ranger has a lot of potential to become overpowered if people use it right, because the Rescue Ranger can heal your sentry from a distance, first of all. It also doesn't use your ammo, so you can basically infinitely heal your sentry. That is something to be admired, so I believe this weapon does have a lot of potential as well. A lot of these weapons, I think players just need to take the time and maybe just take a little bit of time and get good at, and like pretty much the general population in Team Fortress 2 should just kind of experiment a little bit more, because, you know, like a lot of of these weapons mentioned have a lot of potential, but people just seem to not use them, I don't know, because they don't have, like, instant gratification of getting kills or whatever. But that is pretty much the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Please leave a rating if you did, and subscribe for more Team Fortress 2 gameplay. I have to head off to work right now, so see you later.